Celtic have done it. They've made it 10 in a row. 10 successive league home wins in a row. But they couldn't do the 10 that mattered. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It's finished at Celtic Park. It's finished Celtic 2, Livingston 1. And if you wanted a poster game for Scottish football, I can honestly tell you, this wasn't it. Unless it was like Suicide or something you wanted to advertise, then maybe you would show this game. This game was horrendous. This game was a fucking horrible watch, and I don't want to necessarily blame any team. I guess if I have to blame someone, it would be Livingston, but I think we're just accustomed to now the fact that these teams will sit with every man behind the ball. And look, I'm not saying don't do that. They kind of have to do that. If they didn't do that, then they would get slaughtered, wouldn't they? Every game. They'd be losing, like, they'd be shipping 5, 6, 7 goals. But in terms of a spectacle to watch, man, this wasn't good. This wasn't like when Hearts took the game to Celtic earlier in the season. This was just Livy sit back, Celtic try and break them down, rinse and repeat for 90 minutes, man. It was a really, really bad game. Celtic got the opener 23 minutes in, an own goal for Obalai. Cross came in from, I believe it was, I think it was Jota. Cross came in for Jota. Or was it Haksabanovic? Maybe Haksabanovic. I don't know. Anyway, cross came in, and it wasn't even a great cross. Obalai sticks out his leg and it hits half it and goes into the back of the net. Own goal. So there you go. Celtic probably don't need any help, but they've got help anyway. They're 1-0 up. And then Furuhashi scores a decent goal on the brink of half-time. Abada with the assist, and you're thinking 2-0 Celtic. It's going to be half-time. This game is over. This game's done. Finished. Deed. Time to go. But no. Livy, out of nowhere, offered nothing. Offered hee-haw for 45 minutes. But then Devlin powers through, gets Livy a goal, gets them a lifeline, gets them back in the game, and you're thinking, well, you know what? Maybe something's going to happen here. Maybe a Livy comeback will be on in the second half. But there was no Livy comeback in the second half. The second half was uneventful. The second half was boring. And literally, nothing happened, man. It sucked. You could have went to bed at half time and you wouldn't have missed anything. Literally, you didn't miss any goals. There was a VAR decision that I guess you could look at, but I mean, it was probably the right decision in the end. Celtic had a goal ruled off. They had a VAR decision, a VAR check in the first half as well for an offside goal. No, a handball, sorry. A handball, and it wasn't given either. So yeah, Celtic here on the receiving end of 2 negative VAR decisions. So who knows? Maybe the fans will be crying and they'll be claiming that the league's against them. But it didn't matter. Look, they won 2-1. It is what it is. I don't really understand what Davy Martindale was doing here. He couldn't have asked for much more. You know, you get into the final 10 minutes within 1 of Celtic, but I would have liked to have seen more for Livy in the last 10 minutes. I mean, it's not like if they were holding on to a draw, I can understand it. You know, you do not want to lose that point. But at the end of the day, it's 2-1. You don't get any points for fucking losing 2-1. He may as well went for it. Now, he had Nubly on the bench. He did not bring Nubly on. I'm not too sure why, because I think anytime I've seen Nubly, he causes problems for the opposition defence. I like Nubly. I think Nubly's a great player. I think he'll be leaving Livy soon. His future's not at Livingston, I tell you that. And it would have been nice to see him get brought on and see if he could rough up the Celtic defence, see if he could do anything. But it didn't happen, so who knows, maybe he's carrying an injury. But anyway, Celtic held it, 2-1 win. They go 9 points clear at the top of the table. And I think the last 2 matches involving the Old Firm teams, it's been a bit weird. You know, we've seen how late goals can literally change the outcome of games, you know, massively, of course. And we've seen that Celtic and Rangers can play well or they can play bad, but a 1 margin win is still 3 points. So I think this 9 point gap, it looks big on paper, but you've seen over the past like 5 days, what if Rangers could have easily been further than 9 points behind, but if you put a spin on it, then Rangers could have been closer than 9 points. So really, these games are won by fine margins. You'd both Celtic and Rangers winning late on against Aberdeen. You'd both Celtic and Rangers winning by 1 goal against Hibs and Livingston. So a goal either way in some of these games could change things massively. So I do think the league's over, but what I don't think is, I don't think 9 points is this insurmountable, task. If you think at it, if you look at it from this perspective, I mean, Celtic here, a narrow 2-1 win. What if? What if Livy had scored in the dying seconds? Celtic, narrow 1-0 win over Aberdeen. What if they didn't get that goal late on? And I know it's a bunch of what ifs, but you have to do what ifs, because if you don't do what ifs, then what can you say? The league's fucking over, So you have to pretend, you have to look at different scenarios. But anyway, guys, that's it. Celtic with a win. Really bad game. I actually tried to get this on a live stream. I should have just stopped when it wasn't on Sky Sports. I should have went, you know what, fuck it, I'm not watching it. But no, I tried to get it on a live stream. He's goals down, by the way. So you have to, if you want to try and watch football live on the internet and break the law, then you're going to have to use a different website, because his goal has been officially censored. But anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you in the next one. The league's over. Let's be real. The league is over. But it would be interesting if we get to this Old Firm game and the gap hasn't increased, and if Rangers do win it. It'd be interesting to see what pressure is put on Celtic, but we'll see. I don't see it happening. To me, Rangers have been a little bit pish since Beale took over, but who knows? Maybe I'll take my few games to get into things. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.